Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hero from TechDragon.info, and today we're gonna take a look at the IS-3 Auto, which you can see here. The Auto is a little bit screwy because it is not an autoloader, as you can see on the gun. There's no autoloading icon on here. Neither are autoloading stats here. So let's take a brief look at the description here, and it will explain a couple of things. So, they designed a new tank with a new loading system on the IS-3 and a T10 Heavy. The IS-3 variation featured a double-row ammo rack with an automatic loading system. The crew was reduced to 3 members, a commander, gunner, and driver. The turret was redesigned in order to accommodate the loading system. VO existed on blueprints alone. So, this thing looks a hell of a lot like an IS-3, and it pretty much is. So let's take a look here at IS-3. I don't actually own the IS-3, so do keep in mind that some of these stats are not the final versions of the turret, the gun, the engine, that sort of stuff. But we'll take a look in comparison nonetheless. So hit point wise, like I said, it doesn't have the final turret, so I'm going to assume that once these are fully upgraded, they're going to be pretty much the same thing. Weight is, as you would expect it, roughly the same. This one's slightly heavier, but then again, this one, like I said, is not fully upgraded yet. So, engine power is a bit worse than the IS-3, though. If you look at the IS-3 stock engine is already 650, with the top engine, off the top of my head, being 700 horsepower, I do believe. This one only has 520, so this tank will suffer in acceleration and top speed a bit. Top speed on the IS-3 is actually 38 versus 40, which is interesting, even though this one is a weaker engine. It's just going to take you longer to get to that top speed. So, yeah, 40, downhill, you'll notice it. It can go pretty damn rapidly downhill, and the mobility overall, it's not bad. It's just not, it's not a snappy, zippy tank for a heavy, of course. So, track reverse 26 versus 27. Again, this is not the fully upgraded one, so probably 28 on the upgraded tracks or 29. So again, the IS-3 in the mobility department wins. Hull armor is exactly the same, 110, 90, 60, so nothing changed there. So if you know the IS-3, then you know this thing, it is the same. As for the turret armor, the stock turret is pretty bad on the IS-3. But the upgraded turrets, 249, 172, 100, 249, 172, 100. Oh, hey, look, it's the same. So you basically got an upgraded IS-3 turret. Now, once we get to the gun, we'll skip that for just a moment. Turret traverse is better on the IS-3 than it is on the IS-3 Auto. Only 22, so it's a little bit sluggish there. And if you range a 350 versus, well, 330 on this one. But again, stock turret, so upgrade turret is probably 350 as well. And signal range, well, good enough, doesn't matter. So that's for the stats part. Now we do have the gun, which is interesting. It's a 122mm D25TA gun, A for autoloader, I guess, even though it's not an autoloader in the sense of autoloader. Not in the multi-clip, drums, yada yada yada. But there is, in fact, an autoloader, and it's interesting because you can have some rammers on here, but just look at the raw stats here. So it's 122mm. I grabbed the D25T as well because that is what it's based on, and you'll see that in some of the stats. But look at the rate of fire, 4.88, and on the final gun, 4.51. So the damage per minute on the final gun is actually a little bit worse. That's interesting, never knew that. But you get the massive penetration buff. But if you look over here, 221 penetration, that is damn good on a tier 8 premium heavy tank. So, penetration wise, pretty damn good. Damage is the same. Gotta say that the standard shell here is APCR. That is an important fact here. And the premium ammo is heat, which is kind of sucky. I mean, heat ammo is always pretty shitty. APCR is better as premium ammo than heat is, because heat doesn't work with spaced armor at all. Where APCR could pin the spaced armor and then the armor, heat can't, because heat will explode on the exterior armor, on the spaced armor, and then do nothing on the inside. So the premium rounds on this thing are pretty garbage because its heat's not, doesn't make it terrible. Heat penetration is 270, so it does have a good pen, but it doesn't work against spaced armor or sloped pieces. So if it's too sloped, then the heat won't do jack shit. So do keep that in mind. So the heat ammo is not fantastic. Other than that, it's pretty much the same gun. So heat is actually better penetration than over here. I'm not sure what the BL9 gun has for ammo and premium ammo, but yeah. But if we then go down to the accuracy, 0.46, we'll see that that is the accuracy from the D25T rather than from the BL9, because that's a lot more accurate. So you can tell that some of these gun stats are from the D25 and some are from the BL. Like the pen is definitely more towards the BL than is the D25, but the accuracy is definitely the same as the D25. So aim time is the same all around. So you're left with a gun, but one thing that we didn't look at is the rate of fire. 5.13 rounds a minute. Yeah, that's quite an increase over any of the normal guns. So this thing actually has better DPM than the normal IS-3. But if you think about it, it makes sense. They have an auto-loading system in there, which requires less people in the tank, as we can see here, less crew members, but also increase your rate of fire because the shells are easier to load because they're right next to the the breach, and you can just shove them in, or however it works. I'm not entirely sure about the system, how it actually works, but usually auto-loading systems just feed the shells to the breach. Maybe there's some manual part, but if you don't have to lift the shell into the breach and put it in and close the breach, you just have to open the breach, have it automatically shoved in, and then close the breach, or at least, you don't have to grab the shells, they're already lined up for you. That already saves a lot of time, so it is logical that this thing would get a better rate of fire, and it does. And that makes for some excellent DPM. I mean, let me grab a calculator. Those old ancient things that you can type on? No, you can't see it, but I can. So we have 13? Yes, 13 times 390 damage equals just shy of 2000 damage per minute, 1996. If we then look at the BL9 gun, we have 4.15. Yep, I said 4.15. 51. Wow, I can't read. 4.51. There we go. Times 390. And you have 1758 damage per minute. So already this thing has a lot more DPM, but you do have that less accuracy. So that is a big factor. I mean, 0.06 is quite owie when it comes to aiming. And you do notice it. So, sorry, it does factor in, but let's just take a look at some gameplay and see how this thing actually performs. And one thing I need to add is this was my first game in the thing, so do keep that in mind. Now, one thing to note in this game is that I'm top tier. Like I said, this was my first game. If you play a first game in any tank that you've just got, always play solo, because your first game will always be top tier matchmaking. You always get preferential matchmaking for the first game you play. In case you haven't noticed this is, yeah, it's not something new, it's always been there, but yeah. So we're here, and I decide to go on top of the hill. Looking at the team layout, I'm gonna be firing at an IS-3 auto, KV4, and a T29. If those people are gonna be hull down over there, I have no chance with this kind of accuracy to do jack shit. So get a feel for the mobility here. It's not fantastic. We're going uphill now, obviously, but so I decided I'm gonna be more useful on the hill. I need close range fighting. I can't long range snipe people's hatches because that 0.46 accuracy is more of a brawler to the face kind of mechanic. So the T69 is starting to go like heavy on the hill. We're gonna lose. But I don't think he has played this game for that long, because the hill used to be the heavy terrain. Like, all the heavies used to go to the hill, not down there. That never really was, initially at least, the heavy area. So if you play this game long enough, you know that the heavies always went to the hill in the past. Nowadays, not so much, but that is the whole thing. And he's already saying, not a loss. And I can just see him roll his eyes. Whoa, surprise Hellcat. Well, let's finish him off. So the reload on this gun is 9 point somewhat seconds with a good crew, with vents, with brothers in arms, with a rammer. And yes, this thing can pack a rammer, although it does state that it's an autoloader. But Russian accuracy, right? Hee-haw! Didn't bend, but at least it hit. Full shot, on the move, big ass bloom, and it still hit. So my choice to go to the hill, yes, it might be a little bit dark. Really? Hey, that did not sound like a normal round. Did you hear that? I'm pretty sure that wasn't a normal round that he just fired. Somewhere at least. So, put a show in. Enemy IS-3 auto in front of us. So, what about no heavies on this hill? So we know he fired, so he's going to be reloading. Put one into his tracks. Sadly, don't penetrate him. That was quite a bad luck streak there. And I'm going to have a couple of those shots. Like, really? Let's put a shot into him to finish him off. There we go. Get a feel for this reload. On most heavies, you feel like you're out of the game for 6 years. Angle armor, tracks eat the shot. Good result there. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Artillery trying to put a shot into the IS-3, but he pulls back, so he can't. T69 asking for help, but I can't turn around. I have this dude behind me. Put a shot into him, angle our armor, and we absorb his shell. Fantastic result there. He is tracked. We need to finish him off before we can help the T69 out. Come on, one into his engine deck. Come on, fire. Dang it. So one more shot will do it. Thank you. T29 finished him off. T54 mod 1 has since turned around. So let's go shoot him if we can. And here's that aim time for you. Oh, and we get a fire. Fantastic result there. Holy flippin' balls. That was nice. 600 damage done there with that one shot. And we reloaded again. And that's what I love about this tank. The reload on this gun is just that little bit faster, where you don't feel like I've shot, well, let's go grab some coffee, you know, let's put some sugar in, let's grind down our beans, you know, make the coffee, and oh, we're reloaded finally. No, it's like you shoot, you pull back, but you can already start looking for your next shot. It's not like you're gonna have to sit around for 60 years. And I love that little bit of extra reload. It feels fantastic, to be honest. And combine that with good penetration on this gun. This is finally a premium tank that has come out in the last couple of months that does not have shitty penetration, especially for a heavy. So yeah, I'm loving this thing. This was my first game in a tank. You can actually bounce shots. It has good armor. Okay, that's a tier 6, but still. And wait for that reload. Okay, put one into his ass, finish him off. And so that heavy on the hill. Yeah, terrible choice, right? We'll take a shot from the enemy, IS-3, and we put one into him, into his side, don't pen. He puts one into our front on the move, and he pens. He's pretty properly armored there. Trying to go through his front tracks there. Sadly, don't manage it. We do have the health advantage. I'm thinking about shooting the T29, but I just want to finish this dude off. Come on, through the front track, and he just turns his tank around. But the T69 from the hill gets a finishing blow on him. Good job there. And I don't think we're gonna get another shell into him. But look, we just fired, turn around, we're already loaded. It is just so nice. I could have taken the risk here, but I don't, because I don't want to shoot an ally. So we are capping. We managed to survive with still 6 tanks alive. That is not a bad result. That T69 that was bitching and moaning at the beginning walked away with, what, 3 kills as well. I got 4 kills. All 3 of us that went to the hill survived. Everybody down here did an excellent job. 4 kills for the WZ. He did a good job as well. I think we made the right choice of going to the hill. What about you? Would the hill have been lost without me? Yeah, probably. If I didn't go up there and just the T69 and the T29 went up there, yeah, they would have been overrun by those other 4, including the Hellcat. Hellcat would have probably got an extra shot into the T69, would have been a lower health, and would have been very much in the range of getting killed pretty easily by the T54 Mod 1 or the IS-3. So I feel that this tank is a perfect mix of mobility, armor, and firepower. I'm surprised at how good this tank is. I mean, lately Wargaming has a very iffy track record of putting out tanks that are okay at one thing, you know. The Scorpion has a good, you know, for a TD, a good gun, ish. It's not fantastic, but, you know, if you don't get detected, if you get detected, you're instantly dead. The M4 improved is actually not really an improvement over the M4. The M4 Revolutionnaire, or whatever that thing is called. It gets a big gun, but it's only 175 millimeters of penetration. It's a long-ass reload. It has no armor whatsoever. It's a pretty tall tank, and the mobility is mediocre at best. So, lately I feel like Wargaming has been putting out a lot of shitty new premium tanks. Not the ones that are going on sale again, but a lot of new shitty tanks. And I feel like this is the first actual good tank that they've put out. And I really enjoy this thing. I've played one game and I'm feeling like I want to play more. But I wanted to get this video out for you guys so you actually have some footage of what this thing is like and decide if you want to get this thing. So, there you go. The IS-3 Auto. And don't be fooled by the name. It's not an actual full-blown autoloader, but it does have a better reload because of an autoloading system. So, let's take a look at the stats, shall we? That was just a short game in the new IS-3 kind of auto. I'm not quite sure why this thing is called an auto. It doesn't have an autoloader. I was tricked! We got a mastery badge, first class. We got a master gunner, sharpshooter, bruiser. We got a arsonist, and a shellproof is always nice. As you can see, we did quite a bit. Let's take a look here. We did 3,000 damage there, 1,100, almost 1,200 experience, and 4 kills. I like this tank. I'm really shocked, but I really like this thing. It's a good tank and the reload is really good. I did just get Brothers in Arms though. I just retrained my ST1 crew. I put them in my ST1 and I retrained them all and gave them all Brothers in Arms. Because crew retraining is currently on sale, so it cost me a hell of a lot less gold. And I got some gold with this tank, so again, thank you Mizu for this tank. And this thing seems awesome. I really really like it. So thank you. And if you're wondering if you should buy this tank, well, if you're training your Russian heavy crew, do keep in mind that only 3 of them are going to be in here, which is a bit of a bummer. So as for a crew trainer, well, it's a good partial crew trainer, but yeah, as you can see, only 3 of them. Only the commander, who's also your radio operator and your loader, your gunner, which is also a loader, and a driver. So those are the 3 that are going to get trained, not the rest, so do keep that in mind. So we shot 15, hit 15, penned 9, 3,000 damage done, took 9 to the face, 3 of them penetrated, 6 did not, 1,600 damage blocked. Overall, pretty damn good game, and 3,746 experience. Nice. So, if you're wondering if you should buy this thing, well, this was my first game in this thing, and it's gonna get better, I guarantee you, because I was still testing things out. So, thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.